All right, Dan, we'll see you in a few. Day 3 of the murder trial against Lindsay Clancy wrapped up across the state today. First responders took the stand describing what they saw and their attempts to revive the 3 children of Lindsay Clancy, whom she's accused of killing. Western Mass News correspondent Jen Sullivan recaps today in court.
Nearly a dozen first responders taking the stand Thursday describing the harrowing scene inside the Clancy home in Duxbury, Massachusetts on the night of January 24th, 2023.
He looked up and he screamed she killed the kids.
Inside the home, first responders found 3 children unresponsive: 5-year-old Cora, 3-year-old Dawson, and 8-month-old Callan.
I checked Callan's pulse.
And did he have a pulse?
No.
Paramedics also testified Thursday they found Lindsay Clancy unresponsive and administered Narcan, thinking she may have overdosed.
No verbal communication. She never fully woke up.
Lindsay Clancy is accused of strangling her 3 children with exercise bands. She's charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder. Her now ex-husband, Patrick Clancy, testifying Wednesday about what he witnessed that night.
She said I tried to kill myself.
Did you ask her anything else?
I said, "Where are the kids?"
And what was her response?
She said they're in the basement.
During cross-examination, Patrick Clancy testified about his then-wife's struggles with mental health. Lindsay Clancy's attorney is arguing she should not be held criminally responsible for the killings because she was suffering from postpartum psychosis and extreme mental illness. Clancy has pleaded not guilty. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.